Demon Hunter's a band that has arguably never put out a bad album. They continuously put out good music, album cycle after album cycle. And with this newest release, they claim that it's the record that they're most proud of, even going as far as claiming that it's a record from their near future, as far as 2017. All of the teasers, interviews, and reviews have been leading up to this. My friends, it's time to review Demon Hunter, Extremist. Demon Hunter's last album, True Defiance, was excellent. It was a great celebration for Demon Hunter's 10th anniversary and their 6th album. It was progressively heavier than the last releases and arguably the heaviest Demon Hunter album ever. However, this album tries to accomplish something different. It tries to innovate Demon Hunter's music, and not only that, but it doesn't try to be a True Defiance Part 2, in that it doesn't try to be as heavy or heavier than True Defiance, which some people might take as a negative, but I take it as a very positive thing, because if it would have had continued the trend of getting heavier and heavier, I feel like it would have been really redundant, and this would have felt like a True Defiance Part 2. And I don't know about you guys, but that's not something that I want. Why this album really deserves a title like Extremist for is its bold and relentless lyrics. See, in songs like Last One Alive, Ryan boldly declares that he'd rather be the last Christian on earth than be another godforsaken atheist. While in songs like Cross to Bear, Ryan angrily screams at people who claim that their struggles in life are their cross to bear, because he says that no one has ever borne the weight of the world like Jesus Christ did. And in a song like Gasoline, Ryan Clark replies to anyone and everyone who has ever criticized the band about their faith. So this is really why this album is called Extremist. Not really much for its sound, which is really more of a mid-tempo type of sound, but because of its extreme lyrics, which I absolutely love. I love Demon Hunter's lyrics. I remember when I first got into the band 4 years ago, I was like, wow, I really connect with this. This is exactly what I would be writing songs about if I was in a band. So I really connect with Ryan Clark on a spiritual level. I really love Demon Hunter's lyrics. They're just one of the reasons why they are my favorite band. Now, sound-wise, Demon Hunter's influences really shine on this album. They've always been influenced by European bands like Soilwork, Scar Symmetry, In Flames, and you can really tell on this album. There's some stuff on this album that shines in the guitars, and the melodies, and the choruses, Ryan screaming, and even some of the synths in the song. You can tell that these guys are really heavily influenced by European metal, and I just love it. It's something that makes this album absolutely fantastic. The album features some of the best guitar solos from Patrick Judge that are just face-meltingly good, and some of the best and catchiest choruses that Demon Hunter has ever put out. Just to highlight some of the songs. Songs like What I'm Not and One Last Song are very anthemic, very energetic, and they're very easy to sing along to. The song Last One Alive is more of a radio rock type of ballad, similar to Collapsing or Wake or Fading Away. So if you like any of those songs, you definitely need to check out that song. There are also some really heavy songs on this record, including Death, Artificial Light, and Cross to Bear, which will sure to have your head banging. In fact, Cross to Bear is the meanest, most aggressive song on the album, and perhaps even one of the angriest songs that Demon Hunter's ever put out. But fear not for all you ballad lovers, there's still plenty of ballads to go around on this album. The ballads such as I Will Fail You, Hell Don't Need Me, and Heart of a Graveyard are just great ballads that should satisfy you if you love Demon Hunter's ballads, which, if you're a fan of Demon Hunter, I'm assuming you do. Now, if you're like me and you got the deluxe edition, you also got 2 bonus songs. Now, they're very good bonus songs. I actually prefer the bonus song Waste Me to the bonus song Hopeless Hope, which I'll get into later, but Waste Me is my favorite out of the 2. It's very great. I really love the message behind the song, which is basically saying, Ryan Clark is saying in those lyrics that he's seen a lot of people, friends and people he knows, fall away from the Christian faith, and in the song he boldly proclaims that before he falls away, waste him. So what he's basically saying is that before he ever gets to the point that he wants to renounce his faith, he hopes he dies before that point. So anyways, that's something I can really get behind, and something that, again, really earns this album its title. Now that I've talked about the positives of this album, I'm going to have to talk about the negatives. But don't worry, because there's not a whole lot of negative stuff about this album. It's a really great album. But the few things that I do have about it is that first, the opening death, I feel, is too short. It has this opening of chanting, and it's in a different language, and it's really cool, and it lasts for about 40 or 50 seconds. Then the real song starts, and it feels like it's over in a second. I mean, it's really quick. And compared to any of the other songs, or just the entire album in general, death just feels like a short second. I mean, it's really short. I don't know what could have been done to make it longer, but I feel like the song would have been better if Death was longer. But it's still a very good song in its own respect. Also, another gripe that I kind of have on this album, but it's nothing too huge, is that I feel like the choruses, mainly on the songs In Time and Beyond Me, could have been sped up or altered. The reason I think is because both of those songs start out really fast and really aggressive and really get your blood flowing. But the chorus, although it has a really nice transition to the chorus and doesn't make the chorus feel out of place per se, the choruses to those two songs are very slow and melodic and sort of draggy and definitely almost sort of boring compared to the rest of the song in both those songs. Where the verses and the breakdowns and everything else are very fast and furious. So I feel like those choruses could have been sped up or altered in some kind of way to keep up with the pace of the verses. But other than that, they're fantastic songs. The last negative that I have is something that I mentioned earlier. The bonus songs, the last song on the deluxe edition, Helpless Hope, I feel like it's almost not a Demon Hunter song. I feel like this album explores a lot of different things. It innovates a lot in Demon Hunter's music, but I feel like this one strays way too far from the path. There's some Demon Hunter elements in it, but I really never was able to get into the song. I've listened to it quite several times, and it's a good song in its own respect, but I've got to say, out of the entire deluxe edition of the album, it's got to be my least favorite song. So those are my only gripes about the album. Overall, I'm going to say that Demon Hunter has done it again. They put out another spectacular album that's just absolutely awesome. It's masterfully crafted. You can tell they took their time on this album and made sure they had a lot of little details that they didn't have in some of the previous albums absolutely down pat. And while it's not a perfect album, it is an absolutely fantastic album that is essential to any Demon Hunter fans collection or any collector of great metal albums. I will gladly give this album a 5 out of 5. It definitely deserves it. It's another fantastic album from my personal favorite band. If you like Demon Hunter, if you're any kind of fan of Demon Hunter, you definitely need to check it out and definitely go buy it. So I would also like to recommend this album to fans of Soilwork, Scar Symmetry, and Five Finger Death Punch. And just anybody who wants to hear a really great metal record. So that's about it for this review. I really hope you enjoyed it, but if you've heard Extremist, please let me know what you thought about in the comments. I'm really interested to hear your opinion. So that's about it for this review. I'll have more videos coming up later, so be sure to subscribe for that. And until next time, you guys can just keep it metal.